Here at KPRC2, we're helping you and your family get ready for the classroom as another school year begins. Some of your kids might be driving, walking, or taking the bus to school for the very first time. Here with us this morning, live in Studio A, is Marco Bracamontes with American Red Cross, sharing with us what parents need to know to get their kids ready for school in a safe manner. Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Thank you so much for your time this morning. Safety is paramount. It's priority for all families as we head back to school.
The American Red Cross is always, focused on safety, safety during these periods and during, emergencies and disasters. So we want to encourage parents to, just to focus on this and, get a refresher from, defensive driving and those rules that we sometimes forget.
Yeah, that's a really great reminder. It's a great suggestion. Thinking about summer months, right? When families are busy and they're distracted and getting back into that routine and being aware that, hey, that crosswalk that has been empty for the past 3 months, this week there might be people there. There might be people utilizing those spaces. So talk to us specifically about what you're doing when it comes time for kids to walk to school, to ride the bus, take bikes. Talk to us about what's going on.
Well, like I said, we have to teach our children that the rules of the road must be respected by everyone. Yeah. By pedestrians, by bicyclists and drivers. So, pay attention to traffic signals, always be on the alert, because traffic in Houston has become more aggressive. People seem to drive, faster, a little bit carelessly.
Erratic.
Erratic, that would be a good word. So, everybody has to be paying close attention to every signal, on the roads.
And the last thing we want to do as journalists, so often we respond to these incidents, and it's always heartbreaking to see and to report on. So, being cognizant of your surrounding, being aware, and staying focused is key. Do we have tips on how to do that for parents as we are switching up our routines?
Absolutely. If your child walks to school, we have to teach him or her, how to cross on the crosswalk. Never cross in the middle of the block. Never run across the street, or walk in the middle of two cars. That is very important because children seem to sometimes forget or try to rush to class, to school, so that is very important. I'm very interested in bicyclists. Some children bicycle to school, so it's very important that we teach our children that bicycles are just like cars. They have to respect every rule of the road. So wear a helmet and then drive in the same direction of traffic. Okay, walking, if there's no sidewalks, which is the case here in Houston, you have to walk against traffic.
Against traffic, yes.
So those are some tips that we encourage parents to remind and keep reminding themselves, while they educate their children.
And look, I get it. These crosswalks, they can be tricky. Not always will they have signage. Not always will they have a crossing guard. So it's up to you, the driver, to pay attention and to be aware of what's going on in your space behind the wheel. Also keep in mind, too, some of these kids, they're small humans, right? It's not like you or I standing on the side of the street or walking across the street. These humans are small.
That's a great point. For drivers, please, I encourage Houston drivers to please pay close attention to the flashing lights and the stop sign, when there's a bus, either picking up or, dropping children at school. Yeah. A flashing red light and a stop sign means stop. Either if you're behind the bus or you're facing the bus. There's an exception. If there's raised medians or there's barriers in the middle of a street, you don't have to stop if you're going in the opposite direction. But please, drivers, pay attention, stop, don't rush, wait until children have walked to safety.
And that perhaps that's the biggest takeaway here. We know routines are going to be changing. We know we're going to see more traffic on the roads these next few weeks, more buses. And so, yeah, it's been a minute, right, since we've seen that. Give yourself plenty of time. Prepare now and don't rush. For people looking for more information, just to refresh their minds on what to do if we see a school bus, what type of resources does the American Red Cross have?
The Red Cross encourages you to, download either for you or your teenage children if they have a cell phone, to download the first aid and the emergency apps. You can find them on your app store. Just look for, first aid or emergency, download them, and you can get alerts and tips on how to manage situations, like these.
Okay, Marco Bracamontes, thank you so much for your time this morning. We do appreciate it.
Thank you, Zach.